Welcome to Ice Time TV and a long overdue catch up with Devils player coach Andrew Lord. Andrew, it's been a while since you've spoken to us. We've missed you. What's been going on?
Yeah, you guys have been hiding from me. I thought my interview skills aren't up to par anymore or whatnot. But no, been busy. Obviously, the recruiting coming down to it here the last few weeks. Hopefully, it's been exciting. Lots of twists and turns. Always, you never know what's going to happen every day you wake up, and it's been good. Training's been pretty good, and looking forward to getting back here in a couple days to Cardiff. Hopefully, the weather will be good.
Can't promise anything yet, but we look forward to having you. So, taking it right back to when we last caught up, Periscope interviews aside, the Calgary Summit looked pretty good, looked pretty fun, but also quite business orientated as well. Always a useful event, I guess, catching up with the owners.
Yeah, those guys are awesome. It's always great. It's there is some real quality work going on, believe it or not. It's just in a nice setting in the sun there, and Mr. Parker's doing his ribs, which were unbelievable, and we're having a few beers. But no, some good business, and then also it's nice a couple days there just to chat about anything and everything. And I was fortunate enough to get a behind-the-scenes look at the Chuck Wagon races there. Steve took us down to the stables, which was unbelievable, and yeah, watched some races. Proud to say the ringer, out-of-town boy from Vancouver, kind of beat him up pretty good in the Chuck Wagon betting. So didn't have many fans when I left the building there, but it was good to stick it to them a little bit.
So, Cardiff Devils fans probably haven't had it so good for a long time with this ownership group, and I do probably out of my own nervousness ask them every time they come over whether they're still committed to the Devils. It's not just a hobby; it's a legacy type thing. Is that the impression you get as well from these owners, that they're with Cardiff Devils for a while to come yet?
Oh yeah, they'll be here forever. I think that's what I put my money on. Yeah, they love it. It is their absolute passion. All four of them, and Todd as well. They breathe it day in and day out. It's funny when I go over there. I've gotten to know, now that I've been a few years, I've gotten to know quite a few of some of their employees and their respective companies, and they all kind of give me the gears, because a lot of their meetings in house, start and finish with Devils, stuff on the agenda. So they're all pretty sick of hearing about it, especially some of them that aren't quite hockey fans. But yeah, it's pretty fun. So that's maybe a roundabout way to answer your question.
Excellent, good to hear. And just on the subject of business, when you're over there at the summit, and just any time, I guess, during the off season, again, the Devils fans have had it very good lately, and maybe it's not a question of rattling the tins now to get fans to pay for players to come into the club. It does seem like there's a good budget there. But how tough is Todd Kalman cooking the books on you? Do you have to make a pretty big business case to him in terms of signing a player and money released? Is he quite a strict policeman when it comes to the finances?
Todd's been doing this for years and years. I'd say he's the best at it. I can't stress how fortunate I am to have this as my first job. I still wake up sometimes wondering, wow, how lucky is that? And no, he's very fair. He understands the value in good players when they come around, and we have a very good budget. That. I'll be completely honest. At the same time, we are, within our means, I'd say. Todd's got a very good handle on it. Business is great. Everything's very, very solid. I think the one interesting thing from this summer is, just after having such a great season, you just like you see with the Pittsburgh Penguins there's guys that get huge value on the open market after winning cups or whatnot, or winning the Stanley Cup, and it's the same in our team as well. And I'm very, very proud of what we were able to accomplish this off season in bringing back so many key players. And I think that says a lot about our city and our franchise and the ownership base and everybody involved.
So you've used the budget recently not just to bring back long-standing Cardiff Devils, but a couple of newcomers since we last spoke. Matt Pope and Bryce Riddick. What can you tell us about those guys?
Yeah, Bryce was the first one, I believe, or second one. So we'll start with Matt. I can't remember now,
Yeah,
but
Matt was
yeah.
first, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Matt, actually from Langley, British Columbia here. So in my neck of the woods. Funny enough, kind of always knew his name, saw him a little bit at training sessions. Never knew him all that well, but always kept an eye on him. You could just tell, by his resume and being a university guy back in the day that he potentially be coming to this league at some point, and always kept tabs on him. Big body, skates very, very well. The one thing about going to the Asian League is you have to skate, and you see what he did there, and the video doesn't lie. Very good skater. He's gonna surprise some people. He's gonna play physical at times. He's gonna have some pretty big hits at times. But his skill set's very, very high in as well. Good hands, good shot. Definitely can create off the rush as well as down low, which is a nice dynamic to have. And yeah, I think he's going to be a big force for us this season.
So you say I never give you any compliments, but I actually do, and say that I still think you can play top six hockey. But in terms of your goal, maybe, of playing yourself down the lineup, is this the guy to go with Martin and Bentivolio? At least early doors, anyway. Not that I'm trying to pick your teams.
Yeah, Marty sent me some texts when he saw the announcement. He was pretty pumped. So Benty sugarcoated and asked me, "Oh, so we're not playing together anymore?" But yeah, at least to start, I think you'll see some different combos up top there, and yeah, he's definitely going to be a high-end guy for us.
We talked last summer a lot about veteran experience, and maybe that was a change you made a little bit last summer, and it served you well this season. This guy's coming in, Matt Pope, 32 years old, 200 games in the AHL, a great resume in Denmark, putting up a lot of points. He's only going to add to that, I assume.
Yeah, he's a very veteran player, smart player. He can play all three forward positions, defensively responsible, can kill penalties as well. He's very well rounded. He's been around the game for a long time, and I think we at the same time we've looked to bring in some new blood, some guys that are really going to push some other players, and at the same time adding a veteran presence like Matt is going to be good for us as well.
So if we move on to Bryce, he comes from pretty good stock, but he's a very good player in his own right. Puts up a lot of assists. He can obviously join the rush, make plays. What should Devils fans expect from him this year?
Yeah, I think this might be one of the undercover ones for us, to be totally honest. I think I relate him a little bit to Zach Hervado in the sense that not much of a resume. You look at it at first glance, you say what's going on here. But one thing to notice is the way he's moved up from league to league the last 3-4 seasons, France to Norway to Denmark, and now to us. And great skater, very good vision. Playmaker, but at the same time, if you've seen some of those YouTube videos, which I think our team retweeted or tweeted, great shot. He can really create a ton of offense, and he's going to be a major player for us. I think he's going to push some of the other guys as well. The thing I like most about Bryce is he is an ultimate pro. This guy is going to be a workhorse on and off the ice. First guy to the rink, last guy to leave. He is hungry, very hungry to show what he can do in our league and to move on to bigger and better things. And, we're going to help him as much as we can with that. And I think, I think this one's going to be big for us.
So I often fairly get accused of making my questions to you a little too wordy, and I know you like to talk as well, so that's fair enough. So let's try some quick fire questions, and you can only give me one answer on these. Have you made the conscious decision to go with 5 import defensemen?
Maybe.
Good. I figure I'm going to get maybe for a lot of these. Okay. Could one of those import defensemen still be Andrew Hotham?
Potentially, but we'll see. I've lost a lot of sleep over that one lately.
Okay, so still in progress. Let's try this one. Craig Moore and Josh Batch, are they starting the season as fourth-line wingers?
Moore will be a forward, Batchy maybe.
Okay, fair enough. Have I got any more quick-fire ones? Is the league repeat on?
The league repeat on. For the league title, you mean? Of course. Yeah, we're gunning for it. Here we go.
Excellent. Okay, that's our quick fire questions. So, where are you right now with team recruitment? Is it, you're not going to tell me any names this week, I know, but are you done? Is there still work to do? Are all the rosters filled and you're just ready for training camp, or are you still waiting on phone calls?
No, we're still working away. I would love to be done. I'd love to be just chilling out by the beach there, but that's not the life of a hockey coach, I guess, as you can see how white I am. No, we got a few things in the mix here right now. The next couple days are going to determine a lot, I believe, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things shape up.
Sorry, I forgot to ask you one more quick fire question, and this might be a maybe or a potentially. Are the Devils looking to start the season with a spare import?
Potentially, we are definitely considering it, but it'll depend on what we can do.
Can I also just ask you, because I don't know, maybe I'm being a little bit too critical of some of the responses that came back in, because everyone's rightly entitled to their own hockey opinion, but Jake Morissette was announced at the Calgary Summit, and he has taken an injury. He was out for a few weeks, but there seemed to be a little bit of surprise that maybe he was coming back as a full-time player. And I know off camera a couple of weeks ago I asked you whether you had any plans to give him some sort of coaching role, but you obviously still see Jake as the captain of this team, the leader of the team, and a very important cog in this machine.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of our success these last 3 seasons has come down to Jake Morissette through his play, his commitment to details, setting an example, always pushing the pace in practice and making everyone better around him. He's the guy you can throw on any line and it'll help that line out. I mean, the difficult thing with hockey is you don't always know if a guy's injured or not, and a team's not just going to come out and say, oh, well, this guy's playing through an injury right now. So if you think back to Jake's first 20, 25 games, he was probably our best player to start the season. We gave him the C, and he relished under it. He went up, played unbelievable hockey with Joey Martin and Sean Bentivolio, and he blocks a shot, probably playing at about 55, 60%. Blocks another shot, breaks his foot. Thanks for coming out for the season. So yeah, I think I have no question marks there at all. I think if you've been around hockey for a long time, you understand the very, very fine details of the game, and also how valuable great guys in your locker room are, and guys that are willing to go through the wall for you are. You wouldn't question Jake Morissette at all.
Absolutely. I'm not sure when we're next catching up, so I'm trying to get in all the questions that I think I've seen on social media and from Devils fans. So the one that always gets traditionally asked, you have got maybe one, potentially two more forwards to sign. Either of them looking to add some extra toughness to the team?
Looking at it, considering it, again, has to be the right guy, has to be able to play. The game has just changed so much, and at the end of the day, I think we got a lot of toughness. And I think maybe that's hidden a little bit because the three guys that are really tough on our team can play so well. So I think that might take away from their credentials in that area. But we're very, very well rounded in that area. I think whether we do or if we don't, no concerns at all. If we do add somebody, I think it's just gravy. But no, I think we're in very good shape. I love the questions, John. Things have come a long way. We're getting some attention here. This is good for business for you and for me.
Box office, absolutely. We will tone the questions down and just do a couple more. I'm not sure whether you're just focusing on the Devils right now or you're seeing things going on around the league. Anyone sort of strike your interest? Any teams you're looking at going, yeah, they've really upgraded?
Yeah, basically everybody. It's a war right now. It's phenomenal. I think the coaching's going to take another jump this season. I think everyone's gunning for it. I think the conference system has maybe made a few teams feel like they're really all of a sudden back in the mix to do some big things, and I think that's just spurred everybody on even more. And even in our conference, it's going to be some incredible hockey. It's going to be American Hockey League caliber when those four teams play each other, no question. Belfast has got some great guys. Thornton's got that pipeline into Austria that's driving everybody nuts, I think. Corey Nielsen's back with a vengeance, and we all know all about Sheffield all too well. So it's going to be a heck of a season for the entire league.
And in terms of the format of that season, we were speaking a little bit off camera. You haven't had too much of a look at the fixtures, apart from me giving you a little bit of grief for putting another one on my wedding anniversary. But I suppose the headline is no Scottish triple header this year, and that was a conscious decision the club made. Just, it hurts the team a little bit.
I think Todd and I, when we talked about it, we weren't all that far away from it. We actually considered it a little bit because obviously it saves on travel the rest of the year. So I don't think it was 100% no, but the way it worked out in the meetings, it's maybe for the best. And I was a little worried about how people would take that, the fan base, if they'd be real fired up or whatnot. Hopefully Todd's not getting too much heat, but I think there's some great games in there. Obviously, the Belfast doubleheader is going to be an amazing one, as always, just like last season. And I think, even some of these closer away games with Milton Keynes and Guildford will be good as well. And I think there's plenty there as well with the CHL for our fan base to jump on board for.
And just finally, Andrew, I'm not sure when Todd's going to put out this interview, but it is around about the last week of July. When are we seeing you back in Cardiff? And when, more importantly, I suppose, well, not more importantly, but when are the guys arriving for training camp?
Yeah, I'll be back Friday, the 28th. So in 3.5 days here, just saying my goodbyes to the family. And then training camp will get going on the 7th. The boys will be flying in the 5th, 6th, and then it'll be all hands on deck. And looking forward to this first month. I think it'll be a ton of fun, great experience, great learning, environment. And I'm looking forward. It's great. I love the recruiting, but it's great to put it away and get to the real stuff and really get this team going in the right direction.
Absolutely. Well, Andrew, it has been a couple of weeks. Thanks for your patience for the slightly longer catch-up, and look forward to seeing you back in Cardiff real soon.
Awesome. See you soon, John.